Welcome to studying at MMU. As you've been accepted onto a unit as part of your continuing professional development, this brief podcast will highlight what you need to do to enrol on your unit and where to find out key information about studying at MMU. You are looking at this podcast because you've been offered a place on a unit such as mentor preparation or non-medical prescribing. However, even though you've been accepted onto the unit and you have funding confirmed, either via CPD Apply or through self-funding, you still need to formally enrol for the unit with the university. You do this by going to the URL address shown on screen, and there is a snapshot of the front screen of our enrolment page. When you're on this page, you should click here to enrol online and update your contact details. To proceed with online enrolment, you need your MMU ID, which you will find on the top of your admissions letter, and your password, which is initially set as a variation of your date of birth. You should see the instructions on the enrol screen. Click Continue. This will open a screen with university regulations. Please read these and click Submit. Follow the instructions, and at some point the unit you've been accepted on will be shown. Check that all the details are correct and change as necessary. The last page should indicate funding. If you have CPD funding, this should be shown. Don't forget to click Submit on the last page. If you have any problems with the enrolment procedure, for example the information about funding or other details are incorrect, please contact our Student Hub on the number or email shown on this slide. Once you've enrolled online, what else do you then need to do? The first thing is to check that you know when and where your first session will be held. You should be able to find the timetable at the welcome page URL address shown on the screen here, or the Google URL address shown here too. This is a direct link to a general timetable. Look under the relevant unit information, and if by chance you can't find the relevant details, contact our Programmes Office on the phone number or email shown on screen here. Once you've enrolled online, you will be able to get access to a lot of MMU resources, such as our library resources, study skills information, emails and so forth. Now, in order to do this effectively, the first thing you need to do is to change your password. What we suggest you do in the first instance is go to the URL address shown on screen here to access an interactive online induction pack for CPD students. There's a screen snapshot of the front page of this shown on this screen. In particular, we recommend that you go to the following sections: the section on changing your password, the section on plagiarism, and do make sure you are fully aware of plagiarism and how to avoid it. You should check out the information relating to assessments. Ensure you know how to access and use your MMU email, and also ensure you know how to access Moodle. You will find both the Programme Moodle site and the Unit Moodle site will be made available to you once you have formally enrolled with the university. I also suggest you click on the Getting to Grips with Academic Assessment link, which you will find in the CPD induction pack. This contains a lot of information about format, layout, submission of assignments, advice about critical thinking, critical analysis, feedback, confidentiality, and much more. You can in fact download a copy of this and keep it on your own computer. Finally, we suggest that you make sure you look at the checklist, which you will find at the end of the CPD induction pack, because this highlights all the information that you must make sure you are aware of. Now, I am going to say a little bit more about plagiarism because it is very important that you avoid this. So what is plagiarism? The tutor marking your work will suspect plagiarism when they spot possibly the following within an assignment. There are no references cited in support of your ideas, claims or assertions being made in the assignment. References are not cited in an end list. In particular, we might suspect plagiarism if it appears that there are direct copies of words without quotation marks and page numbers, or indeed if only a few words are changed from an original text, even if you cite the author. The most important thing to do to make sure you avoid plagiarism is to learn to paraphrase and summarise, because after all it is your understanding we are interested in. What I've mentioned above is not an exhaustive list of what constitutes plagiarism, and we strongly advise you access the YouTube resource on plagiarism noted on screen, and also the Harvard Referencing Guide, which is a useful resource too. Please note that we also may be obliged to report plagiarism to your trust if it has been identified that this is the case. So, what happens when you've successfully completed your study, and how do you get your results? You will actually be sent an official letter and transcript from a board of examiners. They meet only at certain times of year, so you may have to wait a few months or so for the official results. They will be sent you as soon as possible, and you will of course already have received your feedback sheet and should be able to access your work from Moodle or the programme's office, depending on what format you submitted the work in. You might find, though, that you've actually enjoyed your study with us at MMU and would like to top up what you've already done to either a degree or master's level study. This might be an important option, as you can often bring in APEL, your credits. The current limit is 40 credits for a top-up degree and slightly more for an MSc programme. The most important thing is to make sure that you do not collect too many units without being actually enrolled on a degree programme or a master's programme. If you are interested in any form of top-up and you want to progress your studies, you can discuss this option with your unit leader. They should be able to point you in the right direction regarding a degree or a master's. Otherwise, you could contact admissions on the email address or phone number noted on screen. Anything else? What things might you need to know about? We really hope that it doesn't happen, but if you are experiencing any difficulties, please do speak to your unit leader or our student hub advisors on the phone number or email address noted on screen. In particular, if you are ill or there is some other significant or unanticipated reason for you perhaps not being able to meet an assessment deadline date, or you want to withdraw, you do need to speak to your unit leader. If you are funded under the CPD apply system, you will need to get permission to withdraw from a unit, for example, from then. but also you will need to contact our programmes office, and you can do so by the email and phone number shown on the previous slide. In particular, if you are struggling to meet an assessment deadline date, your unit leader will need to be informed, but they are not able to give you an extension. You do need to apply for exceptional factors, and your unit leader will be able to give you the appropriate advice on this matter. So, what I suggest you do now is check out the information online, and don't forget to change your password and access your MMU email. Otherwise, we do hope that you do enjoy studying with us at MMU. And finally, here is a slide of some useful resources and podcasts. We hope you have found this podcast useful, and if you have any feedback, please send that by email to the email address noted at the bottom of this screen. Otherwise, thank you for listening.